So I had somebody ask, how do you paint still water ripples like what are seen right here? And that's what I want to go over and show you. So this is a painting that I did in ArtRage. I painted it and then recorded the voiceover for it. So I hope this answers your questions, and thanks so much for joining me here. If you have any other questions, leave them below, okay? Thanks. What I'm doing here is I take the background and do a blue on the back. And then I've taken this marquee tool and made a selection for where my horizon line's going to be. And now I'm going to, on top of this layer, I'll create another layer, and then I'm going to lay a gradient color fill over top of that, so it can give me the gradations I need for the water and for the sky. And that's kind of important. You want to go ahead and get this foundation laid for your background, because the key to building up ocean water and reflections, really any water, is doing it in layers. And what I mean by layers is not necessarily the actual layers of the of ArtRage, but are layers of texture and layers of strokes going over top of it. So now I've got the layer. I'm going to put this over top of it, and it's just a gradated layer from blue to white, and I'm going to set the blend mode to multiply. So then that gives me this look right here, and it kind of has it going back to where you can see the horizon line gets a little darker. Now the horizon line on the ocean gets darker as you go further away from you. The sky is going to kind of be the opposite. It's going to be darker at top, lighter towards the bottom. So I've got that laid out on here as well, and I'm going to switch that to overlay, which is going to lay on top of that bluish color behind it, like so. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity of it down to about 75%. So that gives me that nice blue color I need base for the ocean, and then the blue I need for the base for the sky as well. And I think I do want to take this and create a that ocean layer color again. So I'm going to duplicate the layer, and that's going to multiply it again over top of it, and it gives me that really nice color. Now you'll notice the color I chose for that, for doing this, was a little, it wasn't quite blue, it was mostly blue. It's kind of this bluish purple color, violet kind of thing. And so I've got that laid over it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this and create another layer, and then take the bristle number 6 blend brush that's in the custom brushes. And with this, I'm going to take it and start making little strokes across on this layer, because I made another layer over top that's on top of everything. And I do this so I don't mess up the layers underneath it. And so now the stroke I'm going to make is this little kind of a elongated banana stroke. And you do it so that it's making kind of kind of an upturned banana, and then kind of a downturn, kind of a smile and a frown, but kind of elongated, and going back and forth. Now you can do these as solid or as light as you want. That bristle brush is going to give you a fairly light brush stroke, and then you build it up. And you can see here how it starts trying to kind of build up, going back and forth. And essentially that's all this is for setting up these ripples in the background. And even as they get closer, it's just repeating these strokes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you start building the layers up more and more to get as much reflected light as you want in here. And so essentially you just kind of work your way from here, going back towards the horizon. As you go towards the horizon, these strokes are going to get closer and closer together to where they almost start becoming solid strokes with little bits of the lower blue peeking through it. And that's really how this works for setting this up like this, is making sure that you're just kind of doing it. The main thing with this is just you don't want to have any strokes that are vertical or that suddenly change directions from where the way you're going, because that's what kind of makes the eye kind of look at it and go, wait, something's off, something's weird. And so you'll just keep adding these strokes as you're going along with it. Now, as you get them built out and as you start laying them up and layering them up, You could then do a couple things. One is you can go back over top of these and with a brighter color and start adding more. The other thing is that you could actually duplicate the layer that you're making right now and then set it to overlay or to soft light, and it'll build that layer and lighten those up on top. Then you can kind of erase back to let some of the lower, duller color peek through, some of the brighter color peek through at the top. And it really gives you that ability to really kind of edit and control where that is. And this is kind of, when you're doing this can become the layout and the basis for the foam later that you're going to be painting. If you wanted to have like breaker waves here that were creating foam on the ocean, or if this could just be a really soft, gentle, you know, kind of a lake view or something like that, where it starts stays real shallow waves and stuff like that as well. And so you could build it up this way, one of two ways. It could be just kind of a calm ocean or a calm lake, and it just has water ripples like this going through it, and then those get built up. Or you could start adding in breaker waves where it starts churning up some foam and all that. But it's really the exact same technique as you're going through and laying these in. You just keep laying in these little soft strokes back and forth horizontal and start playing out. And it does take time to build it up. It is a little repetitious, and you just kind of keep going there and setting up the layers and building it up. It does help to zoom out and take a better look at it to see how is it looking. And then if there's any spots where you want to have like flat spots in the water, like say the water's moving and rolling and then it kind of flattened out and move, that just comes from pushing those little strokes together more and going a little bit more horizontal with your strokes. But again, as you start working towards the horizon, you see how I'm putting these strokes closer and closer together, so that starts becoming more of a solid color. It's still broken up, but it's more of a solid color with it. And that's really what this is about. You just kind of keep going back and forth with it and building it up. Now, one of the other things you can do is once you kind of get these laid in, you know, and you kind of like where it is, you can take the pencil tool and go with a little bit lighter color and start doing in. So maybe like say the wind was blowing across and it was creating some ripples and some little waves across it, some choppiness to the water. You can start adding that in and going around doing it. You can also use that to start going for where some specific highlights are. So like if, depending on which direction your sun's coming from, or if you're doing a night scene, the moon, just basically whatever source wherever your light source is coming from. And you kind of keep playing around like this and going back and forth. And then, you know, it really comes down to, again, what kind of waves, what kind of water are you trying to do? And the more calm it is, the flatter these horizontal strokes are going to be. And the more ripples you have, then you'll have more spikes and kind of teepees and triangles in the area. And that really, as you start playing forward, you just would, again, start deciding, okay, where are my waves, where are my highlights? Now, this is one of the reasons I do have a stencil in my stencil pack that that I made to kind of do this work for me and to kind of get it laid out how I want it to look, so I don't have to keep painting all the base layer. I can kind of stencil it out real quick and then from there build other layers on top of it and get that look. So that's, again, that's why I make stencils, is because it's not so much the main reason is that it's just really to make it easier and less repetitious for some stuff and just kind of cut down on some painting time. But this is basically how you lay these out. So like I said, somebody specifically asked about this, so I wanted to try and specifically answer it. It just took me a little longer to get around to making this video because everything's been kind of hectic. But I hope this helps, and if there are questions about it, as always, you know, just leave them in the comments and suggestions and stuff below, and I'll try to answer another one as I can. I am switching over to the Everlasting Oil right here and laying in a few other highlight points because the Everlasting Oil goes on a little thicker and a little brighter, and so I just chose another light blue to start laying that on there, and then try and pick out some highlights and points. And you can use really any of these. The pen tool works great. The ink tool works great. The marker tool can give you some interesting textures. The gloop pen even can give you some cool stuff. But as you can see here, where you can go in and start really adding in those sparkles and adding in the spots where the light source is really kicking in some of that. And again, it starts giving that really watery, feel to it. And the more you put those together into big flat areas, the calmer the water is going to look. The more you spread them out and give them peaks and valleys, the choppier it's going to look. And that's kind of how it is. So hopefully, like I said, that helped, that answered some questions. And just leave comments below and I'll do whatever I can to try and get to it and help out. So thanks for watching. So just for transparency, this is what the final piece looks like if you keep doing what I was just talking about and adding layer upon layer of the white. I didn't want to keep doing it in the video because it's really repetitious, but it's the exact same technique I showed you, just building it out and building it out. So again, have questions? Let me know.